Okay, finding trig ratios. This is actually a pretty common type of question, so you'll see this on exams, I betcha. Cotangent A is root 5 over 2, and sine A is negative. Full stop. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's see if we can figure out where we are on the unit circle, just based on what they gave us there. They say cotangent A is root 5 over 2. Well, cotangent is one of those weird reciprocal ratios, and I'm not comfortable with that, so let's flip it first of all. The tangent of A, which I'm much more familiar with, is 2 over root 5. All right. First of all, that tells us tangent is something positive, and so we must be in one of the two quadrants where tangent is a positive value. We might be over here with an opposite side of 2 and an adjacent side of root 5. Or the other possibility is we're over in quadrant 3, where the opposite side would be a negative 2 and the adjacent side would be a negative root 5. Either one of those would give us this cotangent value and this tan value. Now, we don't have to guess which one it is. They've told us up top that in addition to that first thing we said, we're talking about a triangle where sine is negative. Well, sine is positive in this quadrant, everything is, so they must not mean this one. We must be talking about this triangle in the bottom left. So our angle A is that angle around to the bottom left quadrant. One last thing before we get back. I haven't even really looked at the questions yet. This is just stuff you automatically do when they give you this kind of information. You try to figure out where you are and get a triangle built. And we have this triangle except for its hypotenuse. Let's see if we can nail that down. This is a right triangle, and so we can say root 5 squared plus 2 squared equals r squared. 5 plus 4 equals r squared. Oh, it's nice. R squared is 9, so r is 3. And it's always positive 3. The radius always is. Okay, so we have our triangle, negative root 5, negative 2, and a hypotenuse of 3. Now, armed with that, let's see what kind of questions they have for us. Since the cotangent ratio is positive and the sine ratio is negative, angle A must terminate in quadrant 3. That's one of the things we figured out while situating ourselves. Since cotangent A is that, we know that the point negative 5, negative 2 lies on the terminal arm of angle A in the third quadrant. Sketch a diagram and draw the reference angle. Oh, okay, well I did this already. They make a good point. I did this by setting up two quadrants, but because we know that tangent is y over x, that means that cotangent is x over y, and so if they tell us it's root 5 over 2, that shows us that the root 5 has to be our x coordinate, and the 2 has to be our y coordinate. The signs of those numbers you have to figure out from the cast rule or from knowing which quadrant you're in, but at least the coordinate numbers you can get from here. So sketch a diagram, draw the reference triangle illustrating the above information. Done. Here it is. Use this to find the ratio of r. Oh, okay. Well, to be honest, I thought they were going to ask more. This is the standard procedure. As soon as they start talking about a terminal arm and quadrants, you draw axes like this and figure out what your triangle looks like and what quadrant it's in. Once you've done that, they could then start asking us they could say, what is the cosecant of this angle or whatever, and we'd be all set because we have the measurements of all three of our sides.